This urban legend is a mistaken identity genre of urban legends where everything seems to be going great, but then something awful happens to ruin everything. There are many versions to this urban legend, but this one is more appropriate to the modern times. Now, it is set at a time before exchanging pictures online was a norm and people were more likely to be anonymous. A young man, lonely, goes looking for love on the internet. Now, that is his first mistake. He ends up meeting someone in a chat room. He and this other person hit it off right away, and they start writing privately. This goes back and forth for quite a while, and it all seems to be going well. They keep the conversation light and don't tell each other much about themselves. They're always sensible, safe, precautious online. Finally, they decide they want to meet in person in a public place. In some versions, it's in a cafe. In others, a beach. They set the time, the date, and they're both excited for this big day. The young man has finally met somebody that he really connects with and might have a shot at building a relationship. This is the real deal. He is nervous, but he is determined to see this through. He showers, dresses nice, fusses with his hair to get the right look, and it's getting dark, so he makes his way to the appointed place, certain that he is about to meet the woman of his dreams. Then he sees her in the distance, a woman standing with her back to him, but she's wearing just what she said she'd be wearing. In some versions, it is a nice dress. Other versions, shorts and a shirt, and seems to be fidgeting nervously. His heart is pounding. He resolves to go through with this. So he starts towards her. This is it. It's really happening. As he approaches, he calls her out using her username. As they agreed, she turns around, excitedly flashes a big smile. His eyes widen, her eyes widen. He can barely breathe. He's at a loss for words. He starts to shake and gets lightheaded. Finally, the single word escapes from his trembling lips. Mom?
Welcome to the Vale, where the paranormal is our playground. We are the Phantom Pals, Nick and Leah. Um, this one's kind of a special episode.
Bonus feature.
Little bonus feature. It is Valentine's Day. although we are not recording on Valentine's Day, but this is for Valentine's Day. And we think of Valentine's as a day of love and flowers and chocolates and spoiling your significant other.
Gross.
I mean, should I go throw up now? Really? Okay. Well, I wanted to explore the sinister side of Valentine's Day, and I did do this by myself before Leah joined, and we became the Veil instead of the Dead Squirrel in the Woods productions. So we want to revisit it and add something to it.
Yes.
So, I don't know. Should we maybe start with who is Saint Valentine?
Yeah, we can go over the history if you wanted.
Yeah,
And
let's
then
let's look at the history.
there's a little sinister side that you'll talk about, and then I get to talk about
Mm-hmm.
some fun dating horror stories that
So-
happened on Valentine's Day.
So who is Saint Valentine? Was he a person? Well, Saint Valentine is the patron saint of love, marriages, engagements, young people, greetings, travelers, beekeepers, people with epilepsy, and numerous churches. Now, sounds like a lot of roles to me for one saint, right? Now, his birth is unknown, but he did die in 270 AD in Italy. The famous saint was an Italian doctor who became a priest. He was at one point sent to jail for performing weddings at a time when Rome outlawed new marriages. Now, the tradition of sending cards came from Saint Valentine sending a love note to his to the daughter of his jailer before he was killed for the act of not renouncing his faith.
So he wasn't killed because he performed weddings
Mm-hmm.
when they were outlawed at the time, but performed for not renouncing
Yes.
his faith.
And he actually
Okay.
started the tradition of sending Valentine's cards or exchanging Valentines from
To
his.
his daughter's, to the daughter of the jailer.
Yes.
I would think that would have gotten killed, but all right, go on.
Okay. So, not much is known of his early life. His story begins as he began working as a priest. He is mostly known for marrying couples in Rome during the reign of Emperor Claudius II, who outlawed weddings. The emperor outlawed marriage to get more male soldiers. I guess he needed more fighters. More, yeah.
So being married kept you from being a male
Yeah.
soldier?
Yeah, the emperor thought marriage would be a distraction to being a soldier. And this led to Saint Valentine being jailed for performing these weddings.
I don't know, we're both soldiers. You know, in the Marines, and I in the amazing army.
Ah,
And we were both married as enlisted soldiers, right?
yes.
Did marriage really like discourage or distract us from being a soldier?
Not any worse than the ones that were single or dating somebody. Because they would call their significant other, they just weren't married.
Yeah, I did. I was married at the time that I was a soldier. It really didn't distract me from being a soldier.
No, no. So,
I guess
but
maybe times are different, but
yeah, now
your orders are your orders.
this was the emperor's thought, though. This is how he saw it. So,
Okay, all right.
I guess I don't know.
Cool.
When Saint Valentine was jailed, he continued to spread the word and love of Jesus Christ to other faiths, or to others that he felt for his faith. He befriended his jailer, who became impressed with the wisdom of the saint. So this is why it didn't get him killed.
Because he was friends with the jailer?
Yep. He asked him to help his daughter with her lessons because she was blind and needed someone to read the material to her. Valentine or Tyne, I mean, became friends with her through his work with her.
So they were just friends?
Yes.
Uh huh.
Yeah, well, now it may be a surprise that the emperor liked Valentine too, and he even offered to pardon him. All he had to do, simple, all one little thing.
Stop talking to the jailer's daughter.
No, renounce his faith
Oh,
and switch to worshiping the Roman gods. And he, of course, he refused, and this made the emperor angry, and then he was sentenced to death.
kind of sounds like King Henry VIII.
Yeah. So now, before he died, though, he wrote a note to the jailer's daughter and thanked her for being his friend. He signed it from your Valentine.
Your Valentine.
Yeah. It was the inspiration to write notes and exchange Valentines on February 14th, on the day St. Valentine was beheaded. So, really, on Valentine's Day, we are actually marking death.
Technically, yes.
Yes. So, and it's also recorded he did do some miracles. The first was the letter to the girl after receiving it was cured from her blindness. Also, many have said they pray to Saint Valentine for help in their relationships and report a turnaround after praying to the saint.
All right.
I guess I never did that in any of mine, but maybe that's why they were never saved.
I was gonna say, like, yours didn't really end up that well, so maybe you
Yeah.
should have.
So yeah, maybe. But three different Saint Valentines are mentioned in early records.
Three different St.
Yeah,
Valentines?
and
Okay.
we discussed one of them already.
Okay.
Um, the second one was a bishop located about 60 miles from Rome.
Okay.
He had the same outcome as the first at the hands of Emperor Claudius II. The third one suffered in Africa after several, suffered in Africa after several campaigns. All three share February 14th. All of them show heroic love for the Lord and his church.
Which makes sense in that
Yeah.
time. Saints obviously are in the Catholic religion, and in the time the Catholic religion was
Yeah.
very pronounced. But it is kind of funny that there's three different stories on three different guys.
And that's folklore.
Yeah.
I mean, so now, I don't know. You kind of sick of this whole peace and love thing right now?
Oh, I've been sick of it.
Okay.
I don't follow that.
Okay.
You know me.
Yeah. So
Pour it up a little bit.
let's go to the darker um traditions,
Okay.
sinister ways. I mean, kind of messed up ways. People would celebrate Valentine's.
I say educate me so I can
Such
start doing it
as-
that way.
Have you ever heard of anybody sending mean cards on Valentine's?
Yeah, actually. I mean, that does happen.
Okay. Um, what about medieval things?
Such as?
Such as pumpkins being lit at love banquets, or how about eating mashed worms, or
Why would you eat mashed worms
Um,
at any point in time in
okay.
life?
or let's see, fertility festivals held around that time. So, let's talk about this fertility festival. This was done by Pope
Galactus?
Galacus. Yeah, that sounds about right. In 496 AD.
Okay.
So now, this was a festival. It was a the Roman fertility festival. And this is where some people think Valentine's Day came from. At this festival, it is said that young men run around the streets naked chasing women to whip them with bits of animal skin. It appears the women welcomed this, as it is said that it ensured fertility and an easy childbirth.
Okay, okay. Are we sure that we talk about how like St. Valentine's Day comes from this? Because this almost sounds like dirty sex work that maybe like bondage and all that crazy like scary sex stuff is actually from all of this, not St. Valentine's Day.
Okay, do you want me to make it a little weirder?
Okay, go ahead.
I can make it weirder if you want.
I mean, being whipped with a naked guy chasing me in the middle of a festival is probably pretty weird.
Okay.
How do you make that worse?
Okay, even weirder practice was men and women would put their names in an urn
Okay.
and take turns drawing out a name to choose their partner for the festival. So this was a random pairing.
Well, I don't know if it's that weird though, because we do that now with like blind dates and stuff, and hell, online dating, and it's just random people that you're meeting.
True. Now, in Britain, people thought that a woman would fall head over heels for the first person they saw on that day.
What if the person that they saw on that day was like I don't know, 50 years older than them and like senile and dripping mucus from his nose and blood from his eyes.
For her sake, I hope he's rich.
I'm just saying.
Are you talking about Hugh Hefner in the Playboy Mansion? What? Because, okay.
I'm just saying the first
No.
guy you see of the date could be like horrendous.
True. Very true. Now, many articles state that the choice of February 14th is derived from the medieval folk belief that they chose their mate for the year on that date.
So you get like a new mate like every year.
In another strange theory,
Playas.
it involves birds.
Okay.
There is a legend that says the first bird a single woman sees on Valentine's Day could predict her husband's character. So now,
I'm sure in that whole hope it was like a vulture.
So now, I'm going to give you some examples. 2 birds. Now, in this, she sees a dove. Means a happy marriage.
Okay.
And a woodpecker means you will remain unmarried.
But what if you see neither?
You're just fucked.
What if you see a raven? That would be kind of cool. Death is next, maybe?
Maybe. Maybe you're going to marry a zombie. I don't know.
Ooh. Hey.
Hey. Girl, your arm fell off. Let me reattach that.
Right?
Gotta fix that eye. It's hanging out. No,
You're
you
like Corpse Bride.
You cannot be eating me.
Oh my gosh, stop it. Stop it. Are we for like 18 and older, right? Is this a family show?
Yes. Believe it or not, there is some graveyard traditions too.
Okay.
Much of this is related to finding a partner or seeing a vision of your intended partner. One dark tradition is to head to the cemetery, and it kind of sounds right up my alley, the night before at midnight, and at midnight run around the church 12 times. Now, this is when there was a church, there were cemeteries at the church. Nowadays, you got to go find one of them older churches that has a cemetery at it.
Right.
If you do this correctly, it should show your future lover as a ghost.
Well, then your future lover's dead because a ghost is a spirit of a dead person.
What your future lover would be before they died.
And now I'm seeing them as a ghost.
You would see their ghosts. Yes, you would see them as a ghost, not their ghost. You would just see them.
Oh, so it's like a vision.
Yeah,
You'd see a vision of them.
that would be a good way to say it. Now, in the 1840s, anti-Valentines started appearing,
Nice.
such as vinegar Valentines.
Fantastic.
Now, the use of these was to be given to unwanted suitors, the heave ho. Oh!
I didn't want you. Here's some vinegar. Go
Do
away.
I need to get one of those for when my divorce is final?
Fantastic.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah. And if she's listening, she won't be surprised.
No.
No, this fell out of favor at the end of the 19th century. Now we have seen kind of a uptick in the 21st century. They do exist. I've actually looked them up on Amazon, and you can buy them.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
You
Yes,
need to get one.
I will. So, so if you find yourself alone this year, and you are a woman, I don't know, maybe go visit your local graveyard.
And look for a ghost.
You could take up some bird watching. Could draw a name from an urn.
I say take up the bird watching and hope you find a raven. That would be awesome.
Okay. So,
But if you find a dove, then you'll be happily married and ooh la la, and I hope you're happy.
now
Gag me.
Leah is adding her twist to this. She's got
Yes.
some messed up stories from Valentine's Day.
Yes, I definitely had to add just like bad dates. Kind of like Reddit does. It's pretty fun. So here's the first messed up date. Okay.
You didn't need to go to
Funniness.
Reddit.
I didn't go to Reddit, but it's
But-
kind of like when people
okay.
read from Reddit.
Okay, well you
Okay.
didn't need to go there. You could have just asked me.
Oh, I'm going to. All right. So the first story headlined is I woke up next to my Valentine's date. She said her husband was on the way home. Oops. I had gone to meet a girl for Valentine's dinner, but there were red flags early on. When I went for a cigarette, she said, "It better not be drugs." And then she started talking about her husband, which surprised me as I thought she was single. I was very unsure, but we ended up going back to hers anyways, like her house.
So then he knew.
Right.
Whatever.
But he was unsure. Just saying. She awakened.
He just wanted to get laid.
Fantastic. Yeah. I mean, let's
Okay.
be honest.
Let's just be honest.
So she had awkward energy when we got back, so I helped us both to a bottle of red wine from the fridge. When I opened it, the contents went flying everywhere, including all over her very new, very white sofa. She went absolutely ballistic, screaming and shouting, demanding that I buy her a new sofa. Weirdly, we ended up... And this is the part that you're right on. Weirdly, we ended up having sex anyway. So he was there for one thing, and that's what he was staying for. And I stayed over.
Well, if he's gonna have to buy her a new sofa, he might as well. He's paying for it now.
I woke up to news that her husband was coming home and wasn't going to be pleased about the sofa. I was freaking out, so I chucked what money I had on the kitchen table and legged it. They're probably both fuming, but thankfully I got out there before he got back, so I'll never know.
Oh.
And this was from Dave, 32 years old, from London.
Does Dave have a full name? No. That would be hilarious.
I would love...
That's such a common name. Like that's
Right.
gotta be that could be made up.
It could be, but I mean,
It's still funny.
It's a funny story. Kind of funny enough to where I don't know if it was really made up.
Okay.
All right, just woman went crazy on him,
Yeah.
and then was like, "By the way, I'm married, and he's on his way home. Best be leaving."
So never mind. No, I won't say that one.
Okay.
That's kind of mean.
All
We
right,
won't go there.
all right. He got my name tattooed on his chest. Is the next headline. He first approached me in a bar. He was 2 years younger at the time, in his early 20s. I don't have the skills to put up healthy boundaries, so I ended up speaking to people even if I didn't particularly want to. At first I thought I'd be polite, as I kind of almost felt sorry for him. But eventually, I just wanted him to leave me alone. We never dated properly, just went out for a couple meals.
Hmm.
My friend persuaded me that if I met him one last time, he would leave me alone, which in hindsight was very naive of me. I met him, and that's when he showed me that he got my name tattooed to his chest as a present for me on Valentine's Day. When I said I didn't like it, he took it as rejection, got angry, and started posting loads of fake stuff about me all over the internet. I actually felt pretty sick, and that they had taken something very personal from me by having my name tattooed to their chest. I felt in some way that he had a part of me on him. In fact, it upset me so much that years later I changed my name.
So is that her change name that is in here?
Lena.
Lena?
Lena from Birmingham, age 32.
You have a thing with England, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. Here's the thing. If we read her story, they never dated, just went out for a couple meals. So you went out for a couple meals with a girl. Would you tattoo her name onto you?
I wouldn't tattoo her name on me ever.
I mean, wow.
I mean,
That just screams psycho.
second divorce? What do I need to say I would never tattoo a name on me ever? I'm just saying.
All right, here's another headline. Adam's very shitty experience, literally. I was dating a girl who was best friends with my ex. Stop right there.
That is
Do
the
you
man
really-
code.
That's
You
a
do not do
problem.
that.
You don't do
not,
that.
No, you don't do that.
don't
Do
do
women
that.
do that?
No, we do not do that.
Okay.
I mean, there's a girl code. You don't do stuff like that.
So you don't sleep with your friend's boyfriend or husband or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
No. If you do,
Because
no.
men don't do.
Men do.
Men do, but
But there's always trouble that comes with that.
yeah.
All right.
The bro code, though, you don't go after somebody's ex.
Right. All right. So, dating a girl who was best friends with my ex. Okay. The ex had said it's okay for us to date, so we thought everything was cool. Red flag. It wasn't okay. I'm just going to put that out. They always say that.
They do.
All right.
They do.
I broken up with my ex around New Year's, and this was around the middle of February. I loved my ex's dog Pluto and would go running with the little guy every other weekend. That's actually how we met. She was out walking the dog, and I was running. It was Valentine's Day in 2008 or 2009, and I remember it fell on a weekend, so I messaged my ex and said I wanted to take Pluto for a run. She replied with something like, "Sorry, he's busy today." I thought she was purposely not letting him to take him for a run because it was Valentine's Day, so I just ignored her. Later that evening, my date and I were out for a dinner. So ex's best friend and I were out for dinner at a local Italian restaurant.
Okay.
After a nice big meaty meal, we returned back to my place. I found dog poop spread over half of my bed sheets, with a rose that looked like it was 40 years old and a card line on the other half of the bed which read, "This is what Pluto was busy doing today." It turned out that she was livid that I was dating her best friend. Called it. Since then, I've learned not to date an ex's best friend or give spare keys to my house to any girl.
You do not.
And yet, he even writes in there, she said it was okay. Told you. They always say that.
Damn.
Always say that. So we gotta talk to my player buddy here, Nick.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Tell me, have you had any bad Valentine's Day dates?
Not Valentine's Day ones.
None?
Not really. I never really celebrated Valentine's.
Oh, that's why you're getting divorced in. All right, okay.
I mean, nothing memorable
Okay.
that I can think of. Like I would do something simple for Valentine's usually, like dinner or something.
Okay.
But I've never done anything huge that just like blows up.
Which would be a funny story if it did.
Yes.
I'm trying to think if I had anything major happen on a Valentine's Day. I mean, I can tell you the reason why I hate Valentine's Day.
Okay.
So, not that I'm like this gorgeous woman now, but as a child in childhood, I don't think I was all that cute.
Okay.
And that was pretty validated by the fact that every Valentine's Day in childhood, you know how families and teachers make sure that everybody has like this little mailbox
Mm-hmm.
and all the classmates kind of pass out their own. I typically would be forgotten and wouldn't get a Valentine, or the few that I would get would say stuff like, "You're super cool," or "Yay, happy Valentine's Day."
Okay.
um, into high school, in high school, I don't know if your school ever did this, but like our high schools always had like give a rose to somebody, and they
Yep.
would have like roses out, and
Yep.
or give like Hershey kisses, and there's a little message you can put in there. I can guarantee you that never happened for me.
I guarantee you that never happened for me either.
So I just learned to really be bitter on Valentine's Day because
So-
just
So you call me a player, but that never happened for me.
you're a straight up player.
Oh my gosh. Such a dark.
Well, this year for Valentine's Day, I will throw a rock at you, and therefore you have a Valentine's Day rock.
And then you will call it Love Hurts.
Yeah. I could do that. All right. So if you have any fun Valentine's Day stories or messed up stories, that would be awesome to hear from you on, because I would love to read about them.
Wait, you're getting a pet rock this year.
I am?
Yeah, you're going to get a pet rock for Valentine's from me.
Oh, I get a Valentine's Day gift. Oh, sweet.
It's a pet rock.
A pet rock.
Pet
Thanks.
rock. You can name him Rocky.
I will say one of the best gifts that I got on Valentine's Day, my husband got me a gun.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Kind of scary.
And this box of chocolates and a gun.
Kind of scary.
Yeah.
Not very bright.
Full disclosure, it was a gun that I was looking at that I really liked, and he ended up getting it for me, and that was my Valentine's Day gift.
Not very bright because now you don't have to use the knife.
Oh, I would still use the knife.
Oh, okay.
The gun's just for show.
Accidentally run into it 13 times.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
All right, so, and he won't tell me who his Valentine's date is this year.
That actually is the weekend we're going to do a investigation at Brumder. So we're going to do a ghost thing there.
But that's on the 15th.
Yeah, that's the weekend.
The weekend we're going to
The
go.
day after.
Who's your date for the 14th?
My job.
And
My-
a secret.
This is my side gig.
Right. And your secret admirer.
Yeah.
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 All right, folks. Well, that was fun talking about Valentine's Day and St. Valentine and some weird traditions that you can do. And then talk about some fun dates.
Yeah. Yeah, where you've got some fun episodes coming up yet too, and
This was just one of our short ones. Fun
Yeah.
little bonus episode on Valentine's Day. So I do hope that you guys have a good Valentine's Day. And if you really like this mushy gushy holiday, I hope you get all the mushy gushy that you need that day. And for those of you that hate Valentine's Day as much as I do, let's all hate it together.
because let's just say it, Sweetest Day is a made-up holiday
It is.
because Hallmark could not get enough money.
They just had to throw one more
So
mushy gushy thing
yeah.
in there. Ugh.
So. But please check out our website and Facebook for updates. And then if you did like this,
And you can find us on Facebook underneath the veil.
yep,
And you can friend us if you so want to. You can also find our episodes on our excuse us on our page. I can't remember the page of name now.
Oh, Dead Squirrel Studio.
Dead Squirrel Studio.
It'll give you the YouTube link.
Yep.
So if you like this, subscribe and like it on YouTube so that you will be notified when we have new episodes or new content.
Absolutely.
And thank you for joining us.
Happy V-Day. VD Day?
VD?
Happy Valentine's Day.
It's, yeah. Something like that.